which is more affordable, Orlando or Miami? That's what we're talking about today, and we're starting right now. Hi there, what is up? I'm Kathy Williams with HomeVest Realty here in Orlando, Florida. And if you're interested in the Orlando lifestyle and all things real estate, then you might want to subscribe to my channel and click the bell, and that way you won't miss out on any upcoming videos. So today I wanted to talk to you about the difference in the cost of living between Miami and Orlando. And you might be surprised at some of the differences, but stick around to the end of this video because I have some bonus information about the cost of living between Orlando and Tampa. So that might be helpful to you, so stick around for that. Now let's just start with this face-off. So let's just start with the cost of housing in Miami versus Orlando. In Orlando, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment will go for about $1,100 a month, where in Miami, the same size apartment is going to go for about $2,134. So that's a pretty big difference. Now let's talk single family homes. In Orlando, a single family home with 3 bedrooms and 2 baths is going to go for about $245,000 to about $268,000. In Miami, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home is going to go for about $329,000 to $425,000. There's a big difference there. But there's more. Let's talk transportation. Orlando gas prices are about $2.46 a gallon. In Miami, they're about $2.57. So slightly higher on gas. Both Orlando and Miami have good bus systems and light rail systems. And then honestly, I was really surprised that food was about 14% higher in Miami than Orlando. That really surprised me. So let's look at entertainment. Movies in Orlando are about $11 a ticket, whereas in Miami, they're going for closer to $13 a ticket. I don't know how I feel about that, because it seems like just as soon as a movie comes out in the theater, it's already out on video. And there's so many great movies on Netflix to watch, so I don't really want to pay more for a movie, that's for sure. So I did check on the beer prices because according to NerdWallet, which is where I've been getting most of this data from, the beer in Orlando is about $1 cheaper per 6-pack than it is in Miami. That's not too big of a deal. But then they started talking about the cost of yoga classes. In Orlando, a yoga class averages $14, and in Miami, a yoga class is around $22. I can't believe that. That's yoga robbery. Well, I'm basically speechless about that one. But I keep looking for something, according to NerdWallet, that Miami is actually less expensive than. And I came to healthcare. However, there again, in Miami, healthcare is 20% more than Orlando. Okay, I found one. Orlando is actually 7.1% more expensive for utilities than Miami. So there's one. We found one at last. So Livability.com interviewed over 1,000 millennials, asking them what matters most to them in deciding where to live. And a resounding answer came that affordability was the main thing that millennials are looking for in a place to live. Now, Livability.com does look at many factors when they're ranking a city besides just affordability, but they did rank Orlando number 17 overall in all of the cities of the United States as a great place to live. As you know, well, maybe you don't know, but Florida is the number 1 state that people are moving to at this time. Orlando ranks 7th. It's in 7th place for where the most people are moving to in the state of Florida. So we are very livable, ranked 17th as the best city in the United States, number 17. That's pretty good. And also, I feel like We are affordable when you look at us compared to the national average. We come pretty close on most things to the national average in price. Now, if we're talking about livability and affordability, there's a lot of variables when you're looking at different parts of different cities. So in Orlando, as in Miami, there are different suburbs and different parts of town that are going to be more expensive than others. For example, a suburb of Orlando home price is going to be much different than the downtown area of Orlando. So for example, a home that goes for $260,000 in a suburb, say for example Oviedo, is going to be a newer home, probably move-in ready, same 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, but it's going to be pretty much ready to move in, probably newer. It's probably going to be between 10 and 15 years old. Whereas in the downtown area, a home for $260,000, which is going to be really, really, really hard to find, is going to be probably closer to a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, smaller square footage probably, and it's going to be probably a 1960s to 1950s home that might need some work done to it. So you have to take into account these affordability and cost of living indexes that come from these different websites, that there is going to be some variables. Also, according to livability.com, if you make $50,000 in Orlando, it would take about $68,000 salary in Miami to have the same lifestyle that you have in Orlando. Now, both are great cities. Orlando is called the City Beautiful because it is a beautiful city and we have such great entertainment, theme parks, so much to do here. And Miami is an awesome place as well because it has the beach right there, gorgeous beach, gorgeous city to live in. And so they're both great places to live. Orlando does win the battle on the affordability front. Of course, it's personal preference as to which city that you would prefer to live in, but Orlando is definitely more affordable than Miami. What do you think? Do you think Orlando is an affordable place to live, or do you think it's pretty expensive? I do hear people say that they feel like it's a very expensive place to live, but those people have never lived in New York or California either, so there's that. Now, that information that I promised you, Tampa versus Orlando. So, Orlando and Tampa are really about an hour and a half apart from each other, depending on what part of Orlando you're in. So, they're very close in every single category: transportation, healthcare, entertainment, pretty much straight down the line, really close percentage-wise to each other. However, one area does stand out from Orlando to Tampa, and that is housing. Orlando is slightly higher than Tampa. So for example, a house that is about $250,000 in Orlando would probably be closer to $240,000 in Tampa. And the same for apartments. They're going to be slightly less expensive in Tampa than Orlando. Overall, Tampa is 4% more affordable than Orlando. So there you go, the information that you were promised about Tampa versus Orlando. They're super close in distance and super close in their same affordability rankings. Although Orlando did rank number 7 and Tampa ranked number 13. So just saying, in the rankings category, Orlando still wins. If you are interested in more information about the Orlando area, if you're thinking about moving here, if you need to relocate to Orlando, look below and there's a link to my relocation guide. It's my free gift to you. If that will be of help to you, I'd love to share that with you. Thanks for joining me today. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.